What's up guys, Reagan here with another Death Star related LEGO set review. Today we are taking a look at set 75229, the Death Star Escape set from 2019. I never had this one, but ever since I've been looking to get some Death Star related sets to review alongside the gigantic 1000 UCS Death Star that's been reviewed and unveiled and everything. This one came up and I wanted to get it, but on eBay, the going rate for these is about 60 bucks, 60, 65 bucks. And I don't know, I wasn't super high on the idea of doing this one for that much. But then a couple weeks ago, I saw a listing for $45 with free shipping. And holy cow, the box is in like perfect condition. It was shipped in like bubble wrap and packaging, and again, free shipping. This was fantastic. Shout out to the seller on eBay. I was able to get this for $15 less than the usual value, and so I jumped on that and figured I'd make a review since I saw such a good deal. But yeah, this came out back in 2019 for $30, and it is notable because it was the first set to include the brand new style of Stormtrooper. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to get into this. I do like the box art. It's got the chasm of the Death Star, and then it's got this random pink mist back here. Don't know what that's about, but I think it complements the box beautifully. I think that looks really good. And then over here, we just have all your features and all your different info. We've got the standard white greebling and all sorts of different details all along the sides, some side box art. So yeah, pretty solid box. I really like the shine there. And yeah, I'm really excited to crack into this bad boy. All right, so on this box, it looks like we have just a couple of tape seals over here. I'm gonna crack into those. Nice and easy. And pull this open. Drop this out. Or whatever. There we go. And then it looks like we have 1, 2, and 3 numbered bags. And then a pretty small sticker, or not sticker sheet. Thankfully no stickers in the set. A pretty small instruction manual. Not huge, but I mean, what more would you expect for a $30 set? And taking a look at the back, we have all the January 2019 sets. Wow. I remember a lot of these. Kashyyyk sets, that Praetorian Guard battle pack, that Inferno Squad battle pack. Yeah, pretty nice, pretty cool. All right, well, I'm gonna open these bags up and then get this set all built and finished for you. All right, well, I finally have this thing built. Let's go ahead and take a look at our minifigures. All right, our first minifigure here is the newest era of Stormtrooper minifig, and I gotta go on record here and say that I actually really like this. It does look a little bit goofy, but it has a ton of LEGO charm in it, and there's some high quality printing and molding in the, it is a dual mold, and it just like the printing and sure, it's a little oversized, but like the shaping is proper for its size, I would say. And I think it looks good. It reminds me a lot of the newer era Darth Vader helmets. It doesn't look as accurate as possible, but I think it has a LEGO charm to it, and it works for the look for the Stormtroopers. And I don't know, I think they did this a lot better than they did like the Clone Trooper helmet sets recently. But yeah, other than the helmet, the printing is all really good. I like the use of black hips. I've always liked that over white hips. He does come with a gun. Underneath, this was like the last year they used angry clone faces for clones, Imperial Stormtroopers, and Stormtroopers. So we do have an angry clone face. Kind of a bygone era there, but you're not going to ever see it under this helmet, which does, yes, of course, the helmet can't turn. That's the biggest issue with this helmet. Good back printing. All in all, yeah, a solid figure. It's kind of unfortunate there wasn't another one in this set. Again, you're paying $30 for the set. And there were like 2 Stormtroopers shooting down at Luke and Leia in the scene, so I kind of would prefer another one, but one's not bad. It's not terrible. I like the figure. Up next is Princess Leia, and this is an amazing figure. This uses the newer style. I say newer, this is like a 10-year-old piece now, but newer style of Leia hairpiece. Looks really good, really nice mold. The face is pretty good. It has Leia Carrie Fisher expression all over it. I really like it. Torso is very nicely printed, has her belt and has nice folds and everything. Looks a lot like Leia. No leg printing, unfortunately, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe you just would have printed more folds for her gown. I don't know. It just makes her look a little simple, but oh no, not a terrible figure, but really good. All right, our last full-fledged minifigure in this set is Luke Skywalker. And yeah, he's an interesting looking figure. First of all, he comes with his lightsaber, even though he doesn't ever use it in this movie. I mean, I guess, kids don't care about accuracy, and you just give the Jedi the lightsaber. But I don't know. I don't feel like he really needed it in this set. But it comes in this set, whatever. As for the figure itself, you can see he looks a little wonky. First of all, this is the only time they've ever included the belt for Luke, with the Batman belt piece. That's a really cool idea. The only problem is they have the belt printed on the torso in a different color, and it's not centered up correctly. It's uneven. So I don't think that looks particularly good. I wish they had just gone with one or the other. Would have been fine either way. Leg printing is really good quality, and actually the torso flesh print is perfect. That is a perfect match to this flesh tone for the brick. That's always been an issue with Lego on which, torsos they can print correctly. Either they print it way too light or way too dark. This one looks fantastic. But moving up, you can see that Luke's a little tall because he has this bracket piece on the back. And we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, Luke is very tall because of his belt and this bracket piece. He looks very awkward. Still this great same hairpiece they've been using since 2014 or 2013 or something like that. And then he still has a simple face expression. You will see this on any Luke Skywalker figure that's not a pilot. And I think it's time for a change. I think we need some more expression than just a frown and a slight smile. As for the bracket, this comes with the little hook piece that Luke uses to swing across the chasm. And it has a little clear bar piece. That is for Leia to attach into. And we will look at that in a little bit whenever we look at the play functions of the set. It's pretty nice functionality-wise, but man, does it make this Luke Skywalker not look that good. Solid figure, does some things right, like including the belt and having the flesh tone right, but some things don't look amazing, like printing the belt and the bracket. So, all in all, pretty good figure, just not an amazing one. Our final little character, not a minifigure, but a character, is this mouse droid. I love Lego mouse droids. They always use really nice techniques. He's got nice smooth little wheels you can roll him around on, throw him around and whatever. Yeah, looks really solid, and I'm glad they included it. $30 set, and they threw this in there, and I think that's really nice. When first taking a look at the completed builds of the Death Star Escape set, you might think that there's not a whole lot to offer here. That's just kind of like a little diorama, but they actually packed a lot in for this set. This little scene set can do a lot of things. First of all, there is this little display crate. It comes with some binoculars, I imagine for the Stormtrooper, and another clip. You could put Luke's lightsaber or the Stormtrooper's blaster or whatever on there. So that's pretty nice. Yeah, just a little canister. You can put it on this jumper plate or take it off. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to take it off to get it out of the way. On this side of the bridge, that Luke and Leia are trying to get to, I'll adjust the camera here, that they are trying to get to, you have a little hidey hole for your mouse droid. You just put him in there, and then he just chills. If you want to get him out, you can just tilt it forward, do the same, or there's actually, this little spot here you can push him out through there. So that's pretty nice. They gave you a little display option or the storage option for the mouse droid, so I think that's nice. You also have a little control pad here, and then you have a ladder for your Stormtrooper to get up to the other ledge that he and, his buddy in the movie are in. So you put him up there, and yeah, it's a nice little display area, and there is a little control panel you can have him stand at, and, have him work on the panel to get his own door open. And you'll notice there's this red knob here. If I turn this around, I can put over here, and you would want to pretend that your Stormtrooper is standing here, aiming down and shooting at Luke and Leia down here, and you would turn that knob, and he would get shot back. It's a really, really nice little feature. Nothing crazy, but I think there's a lot of fun that can be had in just, boom, shooting down your Stormtrooper. I think that's really cool. Before we take a look at the other side, so you'll notice that they have the chasm displayed with this black plate, and I think that looks really good. That's a really cool way. And then you also have the bridge. Yeah, the bridge looks really nice. It's all smooth and tiled off, so I guess, you know, you can't, like, keep a minifigure there is the issue, but I don't know. I think it looks really good, and you would still be able to put a minifigure on it. It's fine. No big deal. The bridge can retract. You can just grab it and move it back and forth. It stops before it comes off its rails, so it's always locked into place. When you have it extended, these two sides of the set can't come apart because it's wedged back here. If you pull it out, you can then give yourself so much more space and ability to play around with this set, which allows you to, you know, more, I wouldn't say more accurately, but more freely represent the scene, which I think is really nice. So you're going to have your Stormtrooper up there shooting down at Luke and Leia. And then down here on this side, you can see you have the door. There's another control panel there. The doorway is really nice and tiled off. I think that looks really good. But you also have your door, which, believe it or not, can open and close. Of course, you have the bridge on here. Just extend it there. The door has this little handle up here, and you just pull it up, and it locks into place. And that gives you your full extension. You can go walk your figures in and out underneath. It's a little bit of a tight fit, but I mean, you can still make your figures go through. And then when you just want to close the door, you don't have to like push it down or anything. You just have to flick this little switch and it drops. Very smooth, very easy to operate mechanism. It is incredibly satisfying. Just pick it up, it will stay as long as you need it to, and the moment you need it down, you just hit it. I could do that all day. That's one of the most like fun and satisfying features. Now for the big scene epic feature, we are going to take Luke and Leia. I'm going to get rid of the lightsaber, not only because it's inaccurate, but it kind of gets in the way. And I'm going to get rid of Leia's gun. And I'm going to have Luke's bracket, have the rope pointed upward to give him as much slack as possible. And then I'm going to have Leia, you have to turn her hand over, have her clip into that little clear piece that holds on the back. And then these, like, I don't even know what they are, but these giant bins that the grappling hook wraps around in the movie. And you can have them swing from side to side. Now, it is a lot more convincing when you have it stored up like this, and you know, you can have them, it's kind of hard to get it positioned just right, but you can have them swing back and forth and actually reach the other side like they do in the movie. But for a little bit more convincing display and to show that the chasm is a little bit larger, you can have them hanging like that, which I think looks really cool. That's a really cool little play feature. As long as you make sure it's attached up here, you can just, that wasn't well enough attached. You can just, yeah, you kind of have to find the right spot to attach them. Yeah, that I would say that's the biggest issue on this set, is that there's no like really good way to attach them. But you can just swing them back and forth. They'll spin different ways, but I think that looks and plays pretty well. Not the best part of the set, unfortunately. I do think the best part is the satisfyingness of the bridge and, of course, on the door. Just do that. I could just do that over and over again. I will say, if you do have this retracted, you have the door down, there's not a ton of room for Luke and Leia like there is in the movie. You can convincingly fit one, but Luke, with all his gear, you cannot fit both of them over here without one of them falling out. Not a huge thing for kids. They just want to play with it, but I don't know, just in case someone wanted to do that. You can't do a whole lot when the door is closed and the bridge is retracted. But all you got to do is open the door and shut it when you're done. So yeah, there's a lot of playability in this set. Now we can go ahead and take a look at my final thoughts. Like I mentioned with the Death Star cannon, a set I reviewed a few days ago, this set represents a scene that has only ever been seen in this set and the gigantic, larger displayable Death Star sets. The scene where Luke and Leia are crossing the chasm has only ever been represented in the two Dollhouse-style Death Stars and the new $1,000 Death Star set. So this set is pretty cool in that it's very unique and one of a kind, really. And, you know, it's kind of historic for being the first to include that newer style of Stormtrooper. And back in the day, it was a pretty cool playset. Like I said, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot to offer just looking at it, But once you build it and mess around with it, you find that there's a ton for you to do with it, and I think that's awesome. However, I don't really think this is worth paying the 50 or 60 bucks you're going to on the aftermarket to get one of these new in box. There's no super desirable or exclusive minifigures in here. I mean, the Luke, Leia, and Stormtrooper are good figures, but they do feel kind of plain. I don't know, they're just not a whole lot that adds to your collection, I mean. And then the set, while being really playable, it is displayable. Like, there is display value in the set, don't get me wrong, especially if you have the figures on it and have it, like, angled out and everything. But it's not huge on display like the modern day dioramas that throw away all the play features just for the looks. This one incorporates a lot of fun, which, like I said, I've had a ton of fun, especially with this feature. Just, I could do that all day. I've had a ton of fun with all the features this set offers, but again, I got this for $45, which was $15 off the market value, and I don't really know if it was worth it. I mean, I'm glad I got the review of it, but I don't really know if this set is all that special or all that worth getting. If you wanted a cool Death Star style set, go for it, but I definitely think there are other sets that fit that bill. So yeah, those are my thoughts on this set. Thank you so much for checking my review out. I hope you could like, share, and subscribe so I can continue reviewing retired LEGO Star Wars sets. I have a really cool retired Death Star-esque set on its way. Might be a while before I get that one out, but just stay tuned for it, and please help the channel out to allow me to keep creating more content. Thanks for watching, and I hope to catch you in the next one.